G'day traders, welcome to wrap up of Tuesday, the 10th of April. Remembering yesterday, Monday, was Easter Monday, so it was a holiday. We didn't trade that day. So last Thursday, which was the last day of trading, we talked about, and this was last Thursday, how over the weekend, sorry, the day before, but over the long weekend, we'd broken down through significant support levels, and the first time the market had done that this year, and all of a sudden we're getting these what looks like selling formations. If you're looking at a 1 minute or 5 minute chart, you look at this and go, okay, there's a good chance of pushing down, and that we've broken support, formed a double top and broke down through support. So approached this Tuesday, believing that we definitely, starting with a seller's market now. Doesn't mean the buyers are completely gone. There's still chance for the buyers, but you definitely got to start looking at the sell side, knowing that at this stage they're certainly a little bit stronger. And this is Tuesday's candle here, so I'll take you through Tuesday. But this is exactly what happened. We had a really good sell-off, and these sellers are gaining some momentum now. A good thing about this is we're getting well and truly back from these cash market highs. So that means we're going to have weeks or even months of good trading as a result of this market starting to sell off. And quite often what happened, and as we go through the day, you'll see, this Tuesday, even though there was a great movement, there was a little bit of lack of opportunity just because throughout the day it just completely pushed in one direction and didn't have any changes or changes of trend or anything like that. It was just selling and selling all throughout the day. Your best opportunities as far as day trading is when we get multiple trends, and you'll find 7-8 times out of 10 or even more we do get multiple trends. That's the normal. But occasionally, especially days like this where all of a sudden we've broken down and the one side has got some momentum, you will get a strong day just of one direction. But it's quite rare. I mean, see this kind of day, it's happening once every 2, more like every 3 weeks, maybe once a month sort of thing. But let's take you through it. So here we are on the 5 minute chart. So we open up here, we did push up, but resistance levels held, and it certainly didn't break up. This point up here was a fairly significant area that the market needed to hold if the sellers were going to have a go, and they easily held this and started pushing down. From there, we kind of broke this cash market low or cash market open, and that was just real start of these sellers. We pushed down, got a decent trend here. Got a pullback. This first pullback here, great opportunity to start looking at trades. Definitely got a lot of potential. However, the pullback was quite small in this kind of day that the sellers just got in and they wanted to get on with it. So looking for a little bit more of a sell to possibly look at pullback trades or PowerPoints and things like that. In the end, it's continued on the downside. Quite often talk about the power fade. Once you get a pullback like that, or sorry, a retracement like that, big or small, but basically once you get confirmation back with the trend, take the next power fade. So we'd be looking at either this power fade here or this power fade here, just over on the 1 minute chart, and you can see both of those would have actually worked quite well. Both had no problems working, and you can see basically the confirmation is about here. So if you didn't look at this one, I'm looking at this one, and it's an area, even though we are dealing with the lows, it's an area with a lot of pressure to the downside, and quite often those work go back over the market. And if you're trading with a daily trend and looking for that first pullback of a trend and then taking the next power fade, they work really well. So that was probably the best opportunity there, as far as taking the PowerPoint or any kind of 5 minute retracement trades. That retracement area happened a little bit quick to take advantage of that, and from there we pushed down really hard. You can see here, not a lot of opportunities. We're just breaking down through PowerPoints, and then we come to lunchtime. Then from lunchtime we got this bit of a consolidation period. The 1 minute charts will show up better when we go over that. But basically we kept having these retracements, pushing lower retracement, pushing lower. This 5 minute sell happened here, but as we're approaching the afternoon, we talk about areas like this. It's kind of difficult to get on the sell side, even though the sellers are in control. It's very extended, and you just wonder how long these markets are going to last on the sell side, knowing that most days you will get multiple moves and they will have a go back at the upside. Even though the sellers are in control, at some stage you're going to get a go to the upside. But like I said at the beginning of this little presentation here, is that occasionally you get a day where it is just one directional, and that's why when you get just the one direction, often you'll find yourself leaving the day without taking advantage of opportunities, because it's rare for that to happen. It kind of catches you off guard. So this is how I see this. Even though this 5 minute trade here, it was quite good. It's about the third retracement of the day, so got to be very careful. But there's no reason not to take it. The market's pushing lower. It's easily breaking through support levels, and when it's retracing, it's not breaking up through resistance levels. So sellers are definitely into control. It's an area that you could look at. So that one worked there, that 5 minute sell. Again, another 5 minute sell came here. This one didn't work, but you can see, you know, if this area is starting to get extended or a little bit uh, uneasy to take, this area is definitely one that you're not looking to take, just because you can see now the market's really kind of flattened out. It's got a sideways look about it. This is the fourth, fifth retracement of the day, so getting very extended. So a difficult one to take, and also that one, it wouldn't have worked as we just had this bit of a sideways area here to finish off the day. Show you on the 1 minute charts. So here we go. We had a bit of a slight push up to begin the day, and then from there we pushed down, and this is the start of these sellers. So we've got the 1, 2, 3 power points on the one side. So this is the area where we start looking for retracement power points, and this is where that predictive actually started to pull back, this area here. So it's up around this area here at that 74, which would have been held by this resistance area here. That was ideal area to look at a retracement on the 5 minute chart, or look at a retracement power point. Just didn't pull back far enough to get to there. And then, like as I said before, this here is probably a good power fade to take, or even this one a little bit earlier, but one of these two, which both worked, because as you get that retracement and that continuation of the trend, and when you're going with the daily movement, they often work quite well. From there, we've broken down through power points. You can see, that's the yellow is the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 7 power points on the downside. The purple here had a good chance of working, because if you go back over charts, it's all about knowing your stats and figures and knowing what good areas are. If you get a 10-point movement, which we've easily got down through here, and as long as you're going with the daily charts, so in this case the sellers, which is the case, the first pullback or the first retracement, basically the first power point back off a 10-point trend, will work about 70% of the time. In this case, this one worked quite well. So a good one to definitely look at, but that's a purple, you'd call that a purple power point going with the dailies. Be very careful taking these as a power point if you're going against the dailies, but with the dailies working 70% of the time, so keep that in mind. And then here, this is this stage where we started to get a bit of sideways movement as the market consolidates through this lunchtime period. So it's a little bit difficult to pick up any trades here, but just kind of trying to make an analysis of what the market wants to do, and see whether it wants to have a bit of go at the upside for the afternoon. Just seeing whether the support levels are holding, and then if it has the power to break up through resistance and get some momentum. But that never came, never eventuated, and this is around about here where that 5 minute trade came, which on the downside worked quite well. And then that was basically the start of this really sideways period, where I guess the momentum had run out with the sellers, but then again the buyers weren't strong enough to push it up. So there we have it. A fantastic day as far as the sellers are concerned. Great for day trading. It's going to bring a lot of opportunities, and coming into Wednesday, we really should get a good movement, but again with multiple trends in multiple directions, and that's going to bring a lot of opportunities. Like I said at the start, this particular day we moved in one complete direction. Makes it a little bit difficult, but that's rare. We shouldn't see it happen tonight, and expect some good trading for Wednesday. Right, that's a wrap up. Speak to you guys soon.